I am merely acknowledging the fact that when the scriptures apply that type of emphasis in a phrase, it does so for a reason. The Bible does this for a reason. This is important. Okay? And then notice it goes on to say, and the spoiler spoileth. Interesting. You know, when you're in college, there's an old saying that if the professor says anything twice, it's probably going to be on the test. And here we have a situation where we've got treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously, and then we've got spoiler spoileth. Why do you have to say spoiler and spoileth back to back, unless once again you want to really emphasize something? And I believe that the Spirit of the Lord is emphasizing some points in this verse. Very interesting. If you take off the first two letters and the last few letters, actually the first two letters and the last two letters of spoiler, you have oil. Okay. I read a book years ago entitled The Coming Oil War. Is that what this is going to really come down to is oil. Are we surprised? Well, there are some very interesting things happening in the news of late in which Saudi Arabia just had I believe its largest oil processing facility attacked by drones, and they are literally going to have to cut their oil output in half. Now that kind of shifts the recognized sources of oil, at least in the Middle East, over to, surprisingly enough, Iran. Iran, who, being identified with different phrases, names in the scriptures, we find in verse 2, because one of the words, one of the names that is used to refer to Iran, or the land that represents what is present day or modern day Iran, is Elam. And notice what it's saying: go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. So we have the word siege or besiege. What is it that they intend to besiege? We go on, read what it has in that verse. All the sighing thereof have I made to cease. So there's something about this sighing that will be made to cease. Perhaps a bit of mystery. What is the sign that will be made to cease with respect to Elam, such that Elam will go up and besiege? Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. Well, there's a lot more in Isaiah chapter 21. A lot more. And we may come back around to these two verses and the following verses in a little bit. But what I want to do is just tap over here to Isaiah chapter 24. Not far from Isaiah chapter 21. We have just a few chapters away. We've got something that we're going to take a look at right here. And we're going to see that just by doing a little search here, we're going to find some very interesting things. Isaiah chapter 24. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Verse 2. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. Verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. Very interesting. Find that word spoiled again. For the Lord hath spoken this word. Verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish.